Ninan. I am the mother of several children and grandmother, and now I'm a great-grandmother. Probably the most important community that any of us will ever belong to in our lifetime is the community called home. It's a place where we can find support during times of sorrow, but also we can grow together, and it's a place where we are going to learn and experience all the basic principles that we will probably carry with us throughout the rest of our lives. We were first married, and the children, well actually our children were a little bit older, but we had 4 children. We had our own 2, and we took my cousin's 2 children. He wasn't able to take care of them, so we had a total of 4 children. And we were able to get this big old house in the country. And it had a lot of land with it, it had a stream in the back. It had been made into 2 apartments, so we had 6 bedrooms in it. And we had an upstairs living room, dining room, kitchen, as well as downstairs. And so it was just a great place to have a family and to grow a family. Every child owned a bedroom, and we had certain rules about it. Number 1 was that you couldn't go into anyone's bedroom without being invited. You couldn't take anything in or take anything out without specific permission from the owner of that bedroom. And I think everybody needs a private space just to dream or think or work through problems or do things you want to do, or maybe have a friend or somebody that you care about with you. I think adults need it, but I think children especially need it. As we look at our families, we need to think of how we can affirm our children. I think affirmations are very important. One of the things that's really important is to be alone with each child at least once a week. Spend time alone together and talk about anything. I think another important thing with a family is to have a family meeting once a week. That means everybody in the family is involved, and anything can be brought up, troubles or worries or complaints, things that we want to brag about or that we talk about, or successes or plans that we've made. All of these are part of a family meeting that can happen once a week. All of us together know more than each one of us knows by ourselves. We can learn from each other, and we can teach each other. Everybody's opinion is respected, so we're not going to minimize or disregard somebody else's thoughts and feelings, but rather we're going to consider them all together as a family. The other thing is that we have to realize that we can affirm the good in ourselves and the good in each other. One of the ways we do that is by not doing put-downs. And even if we say a put-down is a joke, it's not a joke. So no put downs. Another thing is that whatever takes place there is confidential. We don't go out and talk about it to other people. We can feel free to express ourselves because we know that it's not going any farther than the family discussion and the family circle. Another way to affirm your children is to make sure that you affirm your love for each child individually. Another thing you can do is if somebody's acting, and this can also come in your own personal discussions with the children, if somebody is acting up, acting out, troublesome behavior of some kind, you can talk about it together. Are you worried about something? Are you angry about something? Are you afraid of something? Are you afraid you're going to look bad to other kids if you don't act this way? Sometimes children see other people acting a certain way and they think that they'll look bad if they don't act the same way. We have to be sure that we give praise to every child. We have to be sure that we let every child know that we admire him or her. I think another wonderful affirmation that can take place in families is meditation. In meditation, we can explain to the children our short periods of just being silent, just being quiet. We can do it by ourselves. We can do it as a group. One of the guided meditations that I like with our faith tradition is that we can just imagine that as we're sitting here quietly, we're just surrounded by this warm blanket of love from God, and it's just covering us and enveloping us and holding us in this light, this beautiful light, and we are a favored person in that light, and we can kind of express that as one of the images, I think, sometimes. Another thing, of course, that can be an affirmation, it can also be a problem, and that's chores. Chores have to be done, and have to keep things running smoothly and things clean. We try to share chores. We try to let everybody try different chores at different times, and we also tried to let everybody kind of do their favorite chores as much as possible. Another thing that was very important in our house were bedtime stories. It was a favorite time of the day. Everybody loved it. Everybody could just kind of settle back and relax and listen to a story. And if we wanted to talk about it afterwards, we could. And something for us all to think about and carry with us within us. And it gave also, I think, a love of literature and deeper understandings of people and of things through reading these wonderful stories. Another thing that we were very fortunate about at our house was it was such a big house. And so for the big living room upstairs, we decided that we would let each child have a wall to make a mural. And it was a wonderful project, and oh, they just loved it. They painted, they had to design it first, and then they had to paint it. It was a very complex thing. If one doesn't have a whole wall, which probably most houses do not have, just get a great big piece of paper and let everybody have a piece of paper. Or let the group work as a group project, group mural. That can be a fun thing too. I always subscribe to Montessori's ideas that the best learning materials for children are natural ones. It's clay, water, and sand. We had a big stream in the back of our land, and the children loved to go there and just be totally involved and absorbed for hours back in the stream. And so I think those are good things to remember, as well as, of course, the importance of taking walks. The fact that our children are being so starved for being out in nature, it's so important for us to instill this love of our world and of nature within our children, and to make sure that they have opportunities to go out and to be in the wild and in the woods, together with friends, but also time to be alone too if they wanted to be. Hopefully, as we think about these things and think about our families and ways that we can keep peace in the family and help our children to grow and to learn and to also have inner peace ourselves, hopefully these kinds of things will help us to reach those goals and to be able to truly extend it not only to our families but also to our communities and to the world around us.